After searching for related students and/or existing student records on your newly registered student, which are both covered in Part 1 and Part 2 of this video series, you are ready to go through all of the steps of the Enrollment Wizard. This is Part 3 of our 5-part video series regarding student registration basics. To access the wizard, Options, Registration, Register Student. Now, I am going to enter a name that I am confident is not going to bring up matching student records because we've actually already covered that in Part 1 and Part 2. So, Step 1, first name, last name, gender, date of birth. Click Next. Step 2 of the wizard is the demographics area. It is going to be where you fill in the information that you left off of Step 1. And you're going to also add a few extra things. Roberta. Add a middle name. Now, let's talk about suffix for a second. It is vitally important that you enter the suffix in the suffix field and not as part of the last name. If you enter the suffix as part of the last name, it will impede anyone's search to find this child in the system. Date of birth is already entered. Gender is already entered. If the student has their own phone and their own phone number, enter it here. If the student has an email address of their own, enter it here. Do not enter any email address for a student under the age of 13 years old. Social Security number and PIN. We need one or the other, never both. Social Security numbers can be requested. We are no longer allowed to ask for a copy of the Social Security card. If the parent chooses not to provide their child's Social Security number, you will simply add a student PIN. For the student calendar, you click on your pick list. You should only have one choice. Click OK. Homeroom. If you know the homeroom as you're enrolling the child, you're welcome to enter it here. If you do not, it can be added later when you are filling out the required registration fields after the Enrollment Wizard. Click to the next tab in Step 2 for Ethnicity. Click Add. Use your pick list to choose a race. And click OK. If the student is Hispanic or Latino, you will check that box. Third tab in Step 2 is for the physical address. Be careful as you type. All addresses that match in the system are going to pop up here, whether current or former students. Do not choose any of them unless you're positive that the family members listed are in the student's family. Now in this case, I am not going to attach this student to anyone, so I am just going to continue typing the address. Click on Next. Enter the child's year of graduation. Use your pick list for enrollment status. If the child is coming to you to begin school right away during the school year, the child is active. Your other choice is if you are pre-registering students for the next school year, they should always be a pre-reg. Date. The date of the child's enrollment should be the first day that they enter your building to start school. If this is a pre-registration, you will be given direction by the Student Information Systems folks on what day to use. Your enrollment codes. TR, if the child is coming from another Tennessee public school. E, If this is the first time this year in a Tennessee school, E1 if they're coming to you from out of state. Click Next. Sorry, did not enter a date. All right, so then click Next and then Finish.